Hi, I'm Bet from Bet's Makes, and today we're going to be making a starfold card, just like you see on the screen. But here is an example of what this looks like, and it simply just folds down. It's got some beautiful colored letters on the inside, and you can fold it any way you want. You can actually address it on the back, but this is exactly what we're going to be making. So let's move over to Cricut Design Space. So here we are in Cricut Design Space, and we're going to be making the starfold greeting card. This one's a lot of fun to make. So I am just going to turn off my status here for the text and just turn that off. I'm going to go to the Uploads button right here, and we are going to upload an image, and it's going to be called August Makes Star Card. Should be able to find that one. Let me just go click Upload Image and browse. And I'm going to go to my August, and I have it under Star Card. So this is the one you're looking for, the August Makes Star Card SVG. I'm just going to click on it and open it. It comes up as a cut image, not to worry about it, but what you want to do is make sure you name this exactly what you want, and that's in the top right hand corner here. So we'll just click on Upload. It's pretty simple. I'm going to click on it now inside the area of Upload, and it's under Recent Uploads. I'm just going to click on it. You'll see how it gets a green border all the way around it, and then I'm going to insert the image. Now when it comes in, you'll see that it is colored white. Not to worry about that part of it. And it's attached to the score lines that are all within it here. Now we have two other pieces in the middle, and it says Summer Party. Now if you don't want the words Summer Party, I'll just click on the word Party here. You can turn those off. So I'll come over here to the Layers panel, Basic Cuts, and you'll see that that's turned off. So you can put your own greeting in here. So let's pick on some text here, and we're just going to put your, and then on the next line, invited. Now I want to have these aligned so they're in the center, so I'm going to come up here to alignment and then click on center, and it just centers them a little bit. I'm going to click on it and drag it down into the center here. Now I don't want black text per se, but even if I have this selected initially, you'll notice that the color under Operations is not available. That is because you have to click over here where it says the text. Once I click in there once, I can now come up to Operation and I can change the color. So I'll just make it a red for now. But I don't want it as a basic cut. So let's click on the arrow here. We're going to go down to pen because we want to write it in there. It changes it back to black. Well, you can pick any other color. I just like to have it displayed a little differently. Now I don't always like the fonts that come with it. This one is Cricut Sans. So I'm just going to double click in here, and you'll see that the words show up again. I'm going to highlight them, come up here to font. Now I want to make sure I have only current fonts selected, and that means the fonts will stay together. Now we have a whole list of different fonts that we can use. There's one here called DTC Barnyard Single Layer Cutting. I'm going to choose that one. And you'll see that has changed the whole thing exactly the way I want it. Now, because it was a pen that we had set, once we change the font, we have to come back up here and change our operation once again. I know it's a bit frustrating with it initially, but you'll get used to the fact that you have to always make a change. Once you've done something, you have to go back and redo a number of things. So this is under Operation, and I'm going to click back down here. I'm going to go back down to the pen, and I'm going to change it from black to raspberry. That's just so I can see it. Now I've got it all lined up exactly the way I want it, so I'm going to come up here to Select All. And I want to make sure that they stay together. So I'm going to click on Attach. So now that we have everything attached together, the other thing we have to make sure is that it's going to fit within the parameters. Now you'll notice it says you're invited in here, and everything seems to be coming across each other, but not to worry because we asked for a kerned font. Now you can see where they overlap right here. So when we go over here to make it, let's just see what we get. It's going to sort them into the mat. You'll notice that the overlaps have disappeared. That is because it is a kerned font. So now basically we are ready to make this one happen. I am going to turn on my maker. As you can see over here, I'm just going to turn that on. Then I'm going to click on continue. And it should find it without a problem. The only thing we need to worry about now is to what we want for the type of paper we're going to be using. So I'm going to choose a medium cardstock, and if you can see over here on the demo table that I have these AC cardstock, and they're 12 by 12 sheets, and it also states in here it's an 80 pounds, so I know that I'm choosing the right one for what I want to do. So that's exactly what we're going to do. It's a medium cardstock. It tells us to load our Raspberry pen because that's what we have selected, and load the single scoring wheel in clamp B. So we're going to have a pen and a scoring wheel. Then it also tells us coming up is the fine point blade. So let's get over here to the demo table and start putting things together. So I've decided on the cardstock. Now it's just the color. Because I'm going to be drawing on it, I'm going to use a lighter color. So I'm just going to pick a yellow one, and I will move my cardstock out of the way here. I'm using a standard grip mat. That's the green one. And I'll just peel the protective cover over. Then I am going to place my paper so that it fits into the corner here. There we go. Get it as straight as possible. Now I am going to pat this down, but what I'm going to use is what I call a brayer tool, and that's going to squish it down. And that will help keep this in place so that it cuts the right way we want it to, and it sticks to the entire mat. So you can get these from Cricut. I got this one as a speedball, and I think I bought this at Hobby Lobby. Let's put that aside. Now it's asking us to load, but I need to load the right equipment into place. Let me just bring this down here a little bit so that we can see it. I'm going to take out my fine point blade. I'm just going to put it off to the side. I have this little toolbox that I got from Cricut, really handy for all of your blades. Now I'm going to look, and that is not the right one. You can tell because there are numbers on the side for exactly what you want. So that one is not the one I'm looking for. I am looking for my scoring tool. It has a 01 on it, as you can see right here, and that matches what's on the screen. It's asking for a 01. So I can just put that in place and hold it down. Now the other thing it was asking for, let me just shut this for a second, is the Raspberry pen. Now I have a number of pens here, but I have to decide which one is going to look really nice on this gold colored paper. I could use a red or a black or even a gold color. I find that if you want to have the details in there, a glitter one probably works the best. Let me just take a check here. I'm using a purple one. What I like to do is just right down in the corner, I just put a little mark just to make sure that it will show up. This one looks perfect. I'm just going to add it right in and push it down until it snaps, and shut that one. I'll just move that out of the way, and it looks like we are ready to load our mat. So let's load the mat. Now this card is a little large for the Joy, but you could make it smaller so it fits on the Cricut Joy as well. That'll work on any maker. The Explorer Air 2 or the Explorer 3 are absolutely perfect. It's asking me here to make it go, so we're ready to hit the go. So it's just going to take a minute or two to do its thing. It's checking to make sure I've got the right blade loaded. It will always do that. It's going to start by putting the score lines in place. Now you may find that the one I'm doing as a sample may be a little bit too large for what you're using, but quite often large is not a bad idea. It'll actually be quite quick as it goes through this. Now it's paused, it's asking us to make a change, and it's asking for the fine tip. So I'll just put this off to the side, and I'm going to put my cutting blade back in, and that's the standard one that comes with each of these. Just want to make sure it's solidly in place. Don't need my pen anymore, so I'm actually going to take that out and put it back in its jar, and then push the go button again. Once again, it's checking to make sure it's got the right tool. And we get to unload the mat. Now the perfect part about this, I'm just going to move this out of the way so that we can work on our demo table here. So we've got our card, it's all cut out, it has the invite inside of it. So I think this is going to be dry enough, I just don't want to mess things up. Yep, it seems to be dry enough. I'm actually going to turn the mat over, and I'm going to peel the mat away from the material. And the reason I'm going to do that is so the material remains flat and it doesn't curl up. Now, once again, you want to put protective material back on your mat so it doesn't stick to everything. And it just came apart. That's really nice. So we have the scrap that we can use for something else later. Now we have our card all ready. Now, other things you can do with this, you can color these in. Make the beautiful pattern with it. If I have some gold pen, you can see some of the things that we can do with it. So you can actually fill these in now that you have the outline already. I will just do the one as it sits here right now. You don't need to color them all in, but you could get really creative with what you're doing with this. It could be paint, doesn't have to be a Cricut pen for what you're using it for. Now the one last thing I have to do here on the screen is click on finish so it goes back to the mat. Now I've colored that in, let's just hope it's dry. Yeah, it seems to be dry enough. Now the big thing here is because this is a card, you're going to fold on those score lines. I'm just going to do it one at a time. Now other item you're going to need is you can use a credit card or something flat, so you're able to come and make these folds nice and crisp. We call it burnishing. So that one goes down, and it doesn't matter which order you do this. Squish it down. Just take care of all of these edges. last one here. So now we have this great card. Now what you can do is put a sticker on the outside edge here just to hold it shut, or you can decide how you want the little edges to show here. I'm just going to leave it as is. We can put something in here just to hold it shut, or simply glue it, and then you can address it on the other side. So that is all there is to our star card. And of course our greeting is pretty large, but you might want to think about making this smaller and handwriting in some information inside there. You can also decorate the insides of this fold and the outsides if that's what you would like to do. So you can push it down, and as I said, you can put a sticker there. Something light, because you don't want them to destroy the card. You want them to keep it on their shelf, because you could actually set it up and have them enjoy it for a long time to come. And of course you can dress on the other side. So that is all there is to the star card. I hope you had a lot of fun making this one. It's nice and simple. It's a great template. And if you don't have the template, make sure you go to the resource library. That is betsmakes.com library, and then you can log into your account to get to the free resource library, or you can sign up for your free account at that point. So I hope you had a lot of fun, and until next time, happy crafting.